25% of the matches have been played. So this is going very smoothly today. So we're gonna have to quickly gather the bans here, guys. Then we can jump into the
All right. Nice, so they both banned very quickly, but Trippppey is going to ban Anders versus NintendoHippy, which, you know, that's nothing too crazy. NintendoHippy has a monster Anders, and NintendoHippy is going to ban Trippppey's Forge.
Okay, interesting.
So it's going to be more of a targeted ban versus Trippppey here, rather than one of the top 3 leaders.
That leaves a lot of good
going to be going
choices
into game
map,
1
though.
here.
Exactly. Yep, we could be seeing Atriox. Okay, neither. We got Decimus.
Neither.
Actually.
Gonna be the Desi and the Arby instead.
Ooh, that's a
heavyweight
fight.
Matchup. That is a heavyweight fight, and NintendoHippy has an absolutely ridiculous Arbiter. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna opt into here for his opener. He has a lot of options versus the Desi. It's actually Arby has a pretty solid matchup versus the Desi, so I'm excited to see how this game goes.
In the red, this is our Arbiter player. This is NintendoHippy. And on the other side, our Decimus, Trippppey, aka Burke. Actually sending the Grunt Squad at power, and he's rallying a chopper to the other one. Whereas Hippy is keeping everyone together. So there's a bit of a strat on this map that you can do. Just send all your starting units across and start to harass. If the other player has their guys spread out, you're gonna probably get a kill.
Exactly.
It's a bit harder to do against
the
Arby,
Decimus. He's gonna make a chopper, which is obviously in the first stages of the game before Ghost Shield is online, much better than the Ghosts of Arbiter. And even if need be, he does have the Vortex as well. It is a heavy commitment in the first couple minutes of the game to use the Vortex, but if it secures, you know, a couple Marine kills, another Scout kill, and a Marine kill, it can get its worth out of it, and it's definitely a play that is going to need to be considered.
Yeah,
Both players are opting into Gen 3rd builds as well. Nothing too crazy with the amount of minis on this map.
There is a very early raid camp though in the front, and
early enforcers already coming out. Yep, very early enforcers.
Oh, Burke actually cancelled
probably the side mini.
His own raid camp. He cancelled it, and he's making a harvester. Oh, so that's gonna set him a bit behind, and he needs to start thinking about probably choppers. That's the fastest way out of this.
Definitely needs to be a chopper play. It is. And Arbiter does struggle a little bit versus heavy chopper play without going scouts of his own, obviously not having access to grunt mine.
Well, hold on there. Trippppey is taking another mini. He might be taking one more if he's not careful. Okay. He is paying attention now. Every bit of money spent so far is going to be a problem for him, because he is not going to have the units to defend. And these enforcers are starting
that's exactly
to
where
damage.
NintendoHippy is going. Already to the main.
Oh, very good split. But one of the enforcers gets a little bit hurt there, but not enough to lose a single squad member there. And there's the heal. Very
Conduit goes down.
Goodbye, generator. That's gonna die quick. A bunch of choppies are out.
So in the previous tourney, we actually saw this coming out of players. Almirante did this as well. They went the very early raid camp and pressured the main of the opposing player right off the bat. By the time they got to that player, second point kicked in. They were able to get that conduit proc, strip the gen. So Arbiter very potent on this map for doing the strat. Especially, you don't really see it with a lot of other... And I mean, it's paid off, for sure. He's gotten 2 pads here, guaranteed, killing choppers now as well. Gonna be a 3rd one.
Oh, even gets a stun on the Suis. That's so
on the
good.
Suis, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about with NintendoHippy. Having this insane Enforcer micro.
He's even gotten Cloak, so the Suicide Grunts can't connect anymore with these Grunts. And Trippppey just forced to rebuild everything. Meanwhile, NintendoHippy himself could make a second generator should he choose to. It doesn't look like he's quite going for it just yet. He's instead producing more. Wonder what third power he's gonna get. He could be grabbing like Plasma Bolt and just keep a longer fight going.
Go for another pad strip. That's certainly an option here. I wouldn't be surprised. Very likely he may opt into the stasis here. He did have a rally point on the stolen mini. It doesn't look like that there is going to be a raid camp on there, so he's not afraid of JPBs from a proxy push. But especially with Decimus, with that vortex, with the threat of possible just a small contingent of like 1 or 2 JPBs sneaking outside of the map coming in, means that's a lot of potential base damage that could be done to Hippy, and the stasis is going to counter that. Yeah, that's another reason why RB has a pretty favorable matchup versus Desi here. Yeah, NintendoHippy is just everywhere across the map with these enforcers right now. Minis are going down here for Trippppey. He has a pretty obscene amount of pressure here.
A lot of choppers have died. That's very, very expensive. And the back mini is getting low, but another chopper pops out. And Hippy is not going to be able to finish this with that. There's 3 more choppers in the middle. Berg probably needs to think about healing them up, but there is a big contingent of units here for Hippy. Not even going to get suicide granted there.
I mean, I hate to say that it's game already, but I think it's game already. Like, Hippy is just so far ahead in this matchup. Like, Trippppey, I mean, he's a good 300-400 power behind already versus an RB forced completely in this chopper production, which is good, but he needs to mass him before he can really commit super hard here. He could get a really good beam wipe, but Hippy is very good on those splits. You saw them earlier versus the Sui Grunts and the Vortex as well, so...
Even if by some miracle Trippppey could kill everything, like with this pretty good Vortex, by the way, I don't think it would matter. He just lost his generator. Hippy in the background has 2 gens of his own, and he's upgrading to tier 2, which is about to finish just now. Trippppey on 400 power, not gonna happen, bro. He's got 1 hidden generator, though. Yeah, he's gonna struggle very hard as soon as the tier 2 units show up.
Yeah, even just a hunter or 2 will completely negate these chops. Actually happened earlier at around the 6-minute mark, but Trippppey did get a pretty solid beam off. But again, that just means it's going to be on cooldown for a while, and once these tech 2 units come out, he's going to have no answer. Again, with the beam down, he's going to have no counter for that, and that's going to be more dead pads.
Good old drop. Trippppey just resigns out of this, and we're going to have to go into game 2.
Game number 2. Yeah, that RB strat is very oppressive with the short distance on this map from that fort camp to the main. You can get those pads stripped so quickly here.
Absolutely, and unless you've got to be super prepared.
Unless they foresee it, it's yeah, exactly. You have to be prepared for that, or else you just lose your gen, like straight up. And it's not even like a leader 5th is going to be up in time to defend it. You need to be prepared beforehand.
Even if you could get the leader, he's melee, so the enforcers are just gonna...
Yeah.
They're just gonna run circles around him.
Exactly. No hammer pull or anything. It's... yeah, exactly.
Trippppey just left the lobby.
Yes.
He probably thinks it's best of one.
I will inform him that it is. Exactly, and I'm telling him that real quick.
Hello, Redneck in the chat. How's it going? Good to see you.
Let's get him back in here real quick.
While we're waiting, let's have a look at some of the results.
For sure.
It looks like Power Most has been defeated by someone called Keith Schwett.
Oh, okay, so that is actually Be Safe. He's playing on that account.
Why did
so unfortunately, Mo's unable to take him out.
Most wanted us to cast that, and I said no because
Pretty
I didn't recognize the name.
Yeah, yeah, that is Be Safe though. So unfortunately, Mo's is going to be forced into the losers bracket, unable to pull off some upsets, unlike the past tourney, which he actually performed 2 upsets, taking NintendoHippy, beating him 2-1 in the winners or in the normal bracket, putting him in a losers bracket, and then taking out Stormy Style in the losers bracket as well. So we'll see if he can pull some magic in the losers bracket. We'll keep you guys updated as this tourney goes on. But for now, we're going to go into game 2 on Vault, NintendoHippy versus Trippppey.
Yeah, they should be ready to go any moment here.
We're going to see here no Forge for either player. That was banned out here on Vault. So you're not going to see the typical pick here on these larger maps. So, a breath of fresh air. There's going to be no Forge here on Vault.
A breath of fresh methane, I guess?
I guess. It's going to be the Yap pick coming out from NintendoHippy.
It's pretty good.
Versus the Jerome of Trippppey.
It's actually a pretty close matchup.
It is a very good pick. Yeah, and it's...
Both of them very
We'll
strong.
see here. On a smaller map, say Bedrock, even though Bedrock is arguably Jerome's best matchup.
Oh, no.
As I get black screen, unfortunately. But that gives us more time to discuss the matchup. On these smaller maps, Yap is a little more favored in that matchup just because of the insane pressure he can get out of just the mine combos and just cannon fodder everywhere, forcing you to pick up your minis early or get a proxy racks on them and grunt riders at your base, pressuring your gen. It's a big mess. But on these larger maps, matchup is a little more even here as Jerome's going to have a little bit of room to breathe and get his leader out. If he messaged them quite yet, let me message. Okay, cool. Trippppey did back out.
Very good. I guess we just need to wait a second for Hippy to also do it, and we should be ready to go.
Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. Black screen is inevitable in a Halo Wars 2 tourney.
We gotta take away their Infinity Stones.
Looks like Hippy might be a little upset in the Discord about us having to reset about the black screen.
Well, nobody cares. We're gonna cast this game.
There we go. Leaders are locked in. Alright, just a bit of miscommunication here. Looks like we're all settled now. Gonna be hopping back in this game. And there we go. Again, sorry about that, everybody. Just a little black screen issue. The usual. Usually happens at about this time in the tourneys. If it doesn't happen the first game, it's gonna happen the second. It's always how it is.
Hopefully.
It lines up with
Could also get
the Halo Wars tourney lore. Yeah.
Yay, it worked.
There we go. No black screen this time.
Hippy is going straight across the map. That was his first move to do here. With the grunts. Yeah, he's just putting them all out, and he's probably gonna pick up whatever mini he can.
Exactly, he has free reign for whatever mini, except probably the back one right next to Trippppey's base. He's gonna secure that with the Jackrabbit here. Just pretty standard. You can feel pretty comfy giving up any mini except the one by your base here.
It's pretty bad if you lose the big ones, but it could happen easily if you secure that very early. And Trippppey is definitely not hurrying up too much with these pads. Should be upgrading them, but he's not. Where are the pad upgrades?
I believe he's just microing elsewhere, fortunately. Unless he isn't looking to upgrade the pad. He might just be looking for the gen upgrade and then... Okay.
Yeah, it was just a mistake. So this is gonna mean that Hippy is gonna probably pick up the other center mini as well. The Jackrabbit does have high ground vision, so it could steal it, but it just doesn't have to catch.
Absolutely.
Ooh, Hippy with both.
Something to note as well, Hippy forced the Jerome off of both power stacks on his side of the map, which is definitely not something you want to happen if you're the Jerome player. It means you either don't get that second gen upgrade or don't get that leader upgrade, and either way it's a pretty poor situation for you. It's like Hippy opted for the triple supply Gen 4th build just to secure those two big minis, which means he's going to have a lot of pressure in the early stages of this game.
Just making a lot of harvests right now, lots of cannon fodder. He's probably saving up for the 2nd and 3rd gen, and meanwhile he'll be harassing a little bit with the grunts the best he can. Meanwhile Trippppey getting that Jerome out soon. He just started now.
Yeah, it was gonna get delayed a bit, as I said, because the power was taken from him. But we'll see what NintendoHippy does to respond to this. Might just be looking for the tech up. There is a Rex on the side mini, or on the double mini on his side of the map, excuse me. Probably just looking to get a couple grunt riders just to pressure this far mini of Trippppey, who has a Rax on that as well.
Oh yeah, man, look at this mini map. It's just a flood of red.
Yeah. And you can expect this from a Yap. Just a stream of cannon fodder absolutely everywhere. But actually look in the corner side minis that Trippppey holds. He has a Rax on both, so he's looking to put some pressure onto these double minis of NintendoHippy here.
Yeah, that's fancy. I like it. Both of these minis could fall if Hippy doesn't get out a ton of choppers, and soon Jerome is also going to join this up. So while on the right side, oh, actually he recycled that one. What the hell? Anyway, he could just take them one by one, right? There's no way that Hippy can save the left one.
No, that's already... It fell under pressure very quickly here.
Yeah, he recycled both buildings on it. Good choice. And he's gonna have to forfeit it. All of these guys can now move across to the right side. Just ignore the cannon fodder. They do take up Hippie's entire population right now, and he can't do anything with them.
He's a practically full pop of cannon fodder, so if he chooses to ignore it, he's just gonna have a lot of dead pop here.
Actually, he's killing him, which is gonna give Hippie a lot of chances to make new units.
Gonna be a lot of chops coming out, probably in response here now.
Oh, those ramps were absolutely nasty, and the mines exploded too.
Yep.
Trippppey lost so much population in this.
That's the classic Yap combo right there, and that's not something you want to see as a drone who's already behind in this match as well. Every unit you lose is just oh man, that's painful.
On the other hand, all the cannon fodder are dead basically. There's like a bunch all over the map, but that's it. So Trippppey's gonna take this chance and go after the main. There's nothing there in terms of turrets. One chopper gets picked off for no reason. Very nice target fire there. And these attached buildings are now at risk. He's also trying to go tier 2 at the same time, which is also another risky jab there.
Definitely a little greedy coming out here. While Trippppey did lose a good portion of his army from the mines, he actually kept a bunch alive and traded out 3 choppers for it. So definitely a nice trade here. We're gonna see Trippppey walk up to the main here. Ads are under pressure, but third point is right around the corner for NintendoHippy. A full about half a leader point ahead of Trippppey.
Jerome is getting weak there. And you know what? They might run into that mine over there. Oh my god! Everything died.
Oh man.
It's also starting to make the Mastodons. So that should maybe redeem
Mastodons
him
on this
eventually.
map is very interesting play, actually.
It's gonna
Usually
be
you don't
risky
see
with
them
the
due
choppers.
to... Yeah, they're very... There's a big lack of maneuverability, which means that if Hippie just decides to opt into something else, because
yeah, what I'd be worried about is
something
what
a
if,
bit faster than the Dons.
Yeah, so what if Hippie goes around and just picks them off while they're empty? You know, that's the worst time for Mastodons right now after you lost your entire army. So you have to be careful with that. Hippie's still making elite rangers only, no hunters.
No hunters quite yet. Bit surprised by that. Usually see UNSC opt into hogs on this map as well.
We're gonna see a third generator from Trippppey.
That's greedy. That's very greedy.
What is the plan here? He does have all of the minis basically. So fair enough.
Yeah, it does give him a bit of breathing room, but again, I mean, he's not going to be able to get those Marines and those Mastodons nearly as quickly as one would like.
Okay, double hunter production has now started as those Mastodons were seen. What I'm curious about is what the next move is for Hippie. Looks like he's gonna try to split up his army, try to maybe get some nodes, and build up a bit to engage these Mastodons eventually. Ooh, actually choppers turning around again. They're pretty low. I would like to see like one engineer or something, or the heroes, even better.
Yeah, heroes for sure.
But yeah, it's kind of funny. Yap players don't like to make engineers for a very long time, although it really helps them a lot. With that 40% damage reduction, it's pretty good.
It's crazy, no matter what leader you are. It's your units are taking basically half damage at that point. Even if you have those base heals, just That was a nice mine. That was a nice mine.
I think all of the Mastodons are gonna die.
I think so too.
Pretty low.
Like, that was just...
Come on, ram it. I don't think he's gonna ram it. It's gonna survive just barely.
Just barely. But yeah, those Yap mine combos are just absolutely ridiculous. Like, mines in general in this game are just crazy cost effective because you can pull stuff like that. And unfortunately, again, when you're behind in this matchup, not even super behind, relatively even, but now it's going to put them super far behind, which is not something you want to be versus the Yap.
Victory turret is actually really good against Yap's shape turrets. That's funny. I didn't realize it kills them that fast.
Yeah.
I guess it just never gets to shoot at them because, you know, you always have the army nearby.
Yeah. In the meantime, pretty large army has been massed up for NintendoHippy now. Leaders, grunt goblins are starting to filter out as well.
Trippppey's second base is now done. Should be seeing some buildings on that soon, but he doesn't have any production anywhere besides the barracks in the back and the airpad and barracks in the front. I guess he's just really gonna rely on these mastodons, but he only has the one.
And again, with how slow they are, yeah, no, he can't. Not at all.
So
at this point, this fight becomes very hard for him because, yeah, he's not going to have the Mastodon count. He's not going to have the dispersion nozzle to burn through those Yap leader heals. He's not going to be able to afford pretty much any LPs. He's going to eat these mine combos. Mastodons are so slow, especially with the 50% slow that's going to be applied from these Marauders here with that missile attack. He's in a pretty precarious position here in this matchup.
Hippy doing what he can on the high ground, actually killing a pad. A bunch of snipers were made, so if they are in the Mastodon, that could actually be really high value there.
It could be high value, for sure. I'd actually like to see Hippy keep going for a few cannon fodder in his army. Just send him in front just to soak that sniper fire.
Yeah, it gives them some
3
vision
units
too.
Soaking
the beam!
Yeah, they soak up that fire. Oh, beautiful. Oh my god, the beam.
Split was even better.
Yeah, it was a good split coming out here. Very solid split. And that means that NintendoHippy did not opt for the Grunts from Above drop. He opted for the beam instead for those slow Mastodons. Fortunately, not able to catch them out probably as much as you would have liked to.
Mine combo this time around really didn't do that much, but Hippy's still pushing here. Some of you guys getting low. Oh, that's a complete whiff on the Mantis drop.
Yeah.
Rip.
Not something you want to see there, unfortunately. Now as time goes on, this match is going to spiral more and more into Hippy's favor. Yap has such a ridiculous late and even more ridiculous endgame.
Yeah, the more power he gets, basically, the worse this will be for Trippppey. And there's 2 no's taken right now, so they're pretty even in that regard. But Hippy has been upgrading his units, I think. Actually, he's getting his 3rd generator. Yeah, he's upgraded that just now. And he's also taking the north main base. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that these infantry units are upgraded, but not the vehicle ones. Actually, the locusts get a 4th hit point bar when they upgrade. But that upgrade should come soon, and the first engineer is in production now. They're just gonna really change everything up.
Yeah,
For Trippppey, it looks like he just reached tier 3. Wonder what he's gonna do with it. I mean, he could increase the Mastodon capacity. That's about it. Meanwhile, Hippie is 100 pop.
Yeah. Yes, the Mastodon capacity, yeah. I mean, he was floating a lot of units, at least for a while there, outside of the Mastodons. I'd like to just see him make more, or get those pop.
That's good.
I'd rather see him get the pop upgrades. Oh my god!
The Gruntum, however, completely counters it together with the Water Leader power combo. Though that was really well done. Too bad it didn't do anything. NintendoHippy is Yap Yap after all.
Yeah,
he's gonna push all this away.
That's just the strength of the Zap Leader heals. He has 5 means in the late and end game to negate powers. 2 Grunt Domes, 3 Yap Leader heals. Absolutely insane.
Fourth base for Hippie. He's not messing about. This guy.
Yeah.
Blasting Beam is ready again, and it's level 2. So there it is. Burke has pre-split, but oh no, he's turning around, and one of the Gales dies immediately.
No.
Oh, 2 Gales, 3 Gales. Yikes. That's brutal.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
Spartan morale is going to help a bit, but I mean, it's actually mostly
I was going to pop that earlier for the speed boost to get out of the beam, actually.
You're right, I'm actually not sure what he picked up. And also, where is Omega Team? It should be soon, right? Because he's saving the money.
I would hope so. I would certainly hope so. It's definitely not like he could go into a Condor. Condor, obviously, not the greatest in any matchup, but especially in this matchup. Nintendo could opt into the heavy grunts with the parties over, which completely negates it.
Just would be over with that
forever. Exactly.
And if there's a viability from the Condor, the heroes just activate their invulnerability, and the heavy grunts
as well.
They don't care. So.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, wouldn't mind. He probably won't opt into the heavy grunts here, but I wouldn't mind to see them because Trippppey doesn't have dispersion losses, at least from what I can see. He might have. Actually, I can't really tell. He might have them. Actually, never mind. I am a little bit behind in this match, at least a good minute or so.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but yeah.
I actually don't see any.
Yeah, normally, at least for a little while, he didn't have the dispersion. So go ahead and disregard that comment, everybody. But yeah, that beam you were talking about just came down.
Well, Trippppey just
These Mastodons are doing good. Even with them being a bit behind here, the Mastodons are still a force to be reckoned with. Doing a lot of damage, frontline fighting capability here. These mind combos are starting to do less and less damage as the game goes on. No fortification upgrades.
Yeah, as
which are going to increase the damage
get
of them.
upgraded, it's just so good.
Yeah. Again, it is still a 4 base advantage to 2. And again, this game's just gonna get worse and worse for Trippppey.
Yeah, I could see
Especially
it.
once you start seeing the methane parties coming down as well, it's gonna severely weaken the Mastodons, reduce their armors by so much, and slow them.
All the leader powers were dropped just now. And it looks like Yap Yap is unscathed. Burke lost like 20 pop.
20 pop.
Trouble.
About, yeah.
Every time the Marines pop out, they're like level 2. He's made a Scorpion. Is that for real? Oh my god, beam 2 deleting everything. He's like 70 pop.
Yeah, that's
30 pop down.
Oh my god. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful beam.
Should be taking out the other base though, so now they're suddenly on equal footing in that regard at least. And he does have 2 turrets here, so maybe that will help a bit, but the 4 locusts on the higher ground. I don't know about this.
Yeah, they'll melt it down pretty.
There's also 3 Reavers, so even though there's a
fashion.
bunch of air units, a bunch of Hornets, it's just not going to be enough.
No. And Hippy could feel pretty comfy just going a Locust Reaver ball if he would feel like it. You can kite the Mastodons around as they're just as slow as the Locust Reavers.
What the
With
hell?
the Yap leaders will just never die.
You won't believe what just happened. Trippppey, during a Please Don't Shoot Me, has stolen units with the Omega drop.
With the Omega draw.
Yes. During Please Don't Shoot Me, you're not supposed to be able to use these abilities, but...
yeah, they're not
has
supposed
this always
to be able
been
to,
this way?
still slam to get away, like as a means of movement. But
oh yeah, he stole
units. To be able to steal. Yeah, they're not supposed to be able to. Interesting.
I don't know how that happened, but it did, and he's 123 population now.
I'm gonna go with a working as intended. That's working as intended. Yeah.
So we can see that Trippppey clearly has upgraded his vehicles. The Locust has 4 health bars.
Yes.
But so did Hippy. Trippppey and Hippy. I'm pretty sure half the chat can't tell apart what I'm saying.
I'm actually far behind that leader. Or done. Your just happened for me. Jeez.
Well, I hope the third game is not going to be like that. If there's a third
crazy.
game.
Yeah, if it goes to the third game. Hopefully not.
Good question in chat. Where's the tier 3 snipers? Actually, that would help a lot. Taking out the heroes, the hunters. The rest is still scary though. Burke's gonna finish up with the double expo, so that's a pretty little ballsy move to get ahead here, if you can keep them.
Very. I wouldn't be surprised to see, like a good comp would be like maybe a Mastodon or 2 with the stanchion snipers, and then the rest just a Hornet ball or something, because then the snipers take care of all the leaders and everything. Which leaves just Reavers and Locusts to deal with. And without the Yap leader heals, because they're forced to use them for the stanchion, it means he can power drop on them, or just get up aggressive, force the grunt domes, and then power drop. And it gives them a bit more options to work with.
Wait, is he using Please Don't Shoot Me to catch up? What? He's also gonna have, was that beam 3 I just read? I think it's beam 3, boys. Oh, we're going in.
Beam
Merc
3.
really clumped up, so if NintendoHippy can see that army, maybe it's too late for that now, but I'm sure he will find an opportunity at some point. There's always one for Beam 3. Very hard to split against it as it's fast and big.
Yeah, even with the nerf it took to the wind-up time, it's still a very devastating power.
Yeah.
Obviously, you do have that extra second to split your troops, but again, with the Mastodons, looks like he has some Scorps in there. You know, these aren't really fast mobile units that can split it.
On the other hand, they're pretty chunky, right? So you'll be able to mitigate pretty quickly.
You can mitigate a lot, yeah.
Yeah, you won't dodge it.
Just where I'd like to see the Methane Party come in with to combine it with the beam as well, because the Methane Party, the armor reduction in combination with the slow, it's so devastating with those beam drops. Surprised we haven't seen it quite yet. Maybe not.
Okay, there's the beam 3.
As he's looking to just get these.
But we got a pretty good spread to begin with, and only like 3 units are gonna die. That's not. Wait, was that a beam 2? I think it was a beam 2.
Beam 2 is purple, so yes, probably the beam 2. Beam 3, not often shows and opted into by players until later in the game, just because of how, especially at these higher end matchups, it's pretty, it's split. Like, people split against it pretty consistently, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I guess when you have...
I'm not surprised to see them opt into it.
When you have an army like this, it's pretty easy, to be fair, despite you only have a few units. But now actually NintendoHippy getting really ahead here on the high ground with the Grand Dome 2. He's got the Locust to move around on the high ground and the Blisterback firing at the army at the same time. He's definitely going to pick off that air pad, I think, with the upgrade going. Just a few more hits. There it is.
Yeah, the nice thing about this army comp is that even if he doesn't have to commit 100% to a fight, because the range of the units, he can kind of poke away, just whittle down.
The Methane Party,
especially those Unity turrets. Yeah, you don't want to commit too hard into these bases here.
Well, it looks like he's committing now that Trippppey is down to almost half pop. Stealing a Shroud. Oh, but the Spartan actually dies in the process. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Jerome is still up though.
That's not.
Yeah, Omega team just not getting too much done in this game, to be completely honest.
No,
they should have stolen the Blisterback ages ago. Yeah. Could also try to steal the Locust themselves.
But I think that's why he went the Scorpions, possibly, to get a Canny shot. Canny actually does pretty well versus Locust.
That is true.
But that's usually an Isabel thing you see with the increased AoE. Like 2 Cannies, pretty much wipe like a solid pop of Locusts from the Isabel.
Very nice steals on the Locusts, so maybe he can turn this around now, but there's no Gales to heal them.
Yeah.
Pointers just dropping like flies. When you have 6 Reavers, it's just wow.
And yeah, there's just no.
A bunch of flamers are taking out the minis. That's funny. Hippy banking nearly 3,000 power. He's not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, and this will give him the ability to just drop in these Methane Parties, all these LPs here. Earlier he wasn't able to afford them quite yet, but just getting that army up. But now he'll be able to get the army up, as well as drop these LPs. Could also opt into a Scarab as well. Gap Scarab is very potent with those leader heals.
More engineers coming up, which is exactly what Hippy needs. I would also like him to move forward that blisterback and start the base assault once again. Before Trippppey gets too powerful. That said, the longer the game goes, the better it is for Yap Yap, especially in such a split map scenario, especially when he controls all of the power nodes as well.
Yeah.
I wish spectators could zoom out a bit more to show big fights. When Locust range is in question, you just can't show what's happening.
Yeah.
This Grand Dome is just getting so much work done, and that is definitely a beam free this time. I don't remember what the previous one was, but this was beam free, and Trippppey not looking so hot after this. Does he have like... No. Where is his army? This Dispersion Nozzle Flamer group here is trying to burn down the base. I'm not sure if they'll get it done. Cloaking Gen being made about 40 seconds out. Looks like this base is gonna fall after all.
It should, yes.
But so is that of Trippppey, and that was a 7-slot base. Ouch.
Yeah. Definitely
Locust
not something you want to see.
Oh, what the hell? Trippppey micros his units off the base, kills the the cloak gen, and now he's gonna probably strip everything. Why not just shoot down the base itself?
Yeah, just finish off the base. Yeah, full disclosure too.
More blisterbacks, I like it. The blisterbacks are basically gonna take care of any approaching army here, and the rest will be dealt with leader powers and the core army. So,
and
yeah, Hippy is doing great.
A lot of these snipers have kind of been floating outside the Mastodons. He hasn't been able to get the Mastodons themselves out, and these snipers just died to these blisterbacks. It's ridiculous.
So Berg just made 9 Wolverines. I'm not sure what he's gonna kill with that. There's a bunch of support units in the air. But what about everything else?
I don't think they're the issue here. They're
not
the issue here in these fights.
No, I mean, you should always have like 1 or 2, right? But I mean, 9 of them?
Almost always. Yeah.
It's not like it's a Banshee spam.
Yeah.
This is Locust, Hunter, Hero.
And I mean, blisterbacks are going to be set down on the ground. I guess he wants to try to catch them while they're in the air, but
yeah. You don't need 9 for that either.
Exactly. And that's what? That is 36 BOP? That's a third of your BOP dedicated to that AA.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty unnecessary.
Oh, Trippppey, no, what are you doing? He's running away from the dead base. No. Please kill it. It's got like 5% HP right there. No, he's going like all the way home. That base sure learned its lesson. Oh my god.
Man,
unfortunate. He's turning around now. Ooh, here's the leader power spam. Double Grand Dome. Also, Methane Party. And I think there was a trash dump as well.
Yeah.
Nothing much died.
Those double grunt domes are so good at absorbing these LPs.
Oh yeah, as if the Yap Yap army wasn't already good at it.
Exactly,
this is even better. Trippppey finally kills the third base, but is probably gonna lose his own as things look at the moment. Scorpion still barely alive, but is gonna die. Bunch of Hornets already died. And whether that base is getting smoked or not doesn't even matter. The engineers can spot from a mile away. Trippppey has to evacuate once more.
There for that. Yeah.
Oh, the game is so much better, man, since all the spotters just are properly able to detect bases.
Yeah, it's while we're still in a pretty heavy defensive meta, like shields are still pretty strong in the cloaks as well. People forget that they used to be so much worse. It used to be so much worse.
At least you can kind of counter it. At least the cloak. The shield is a different question, especially when you keep juggling them. That's awkward. But
yeah, shield juggling is still a pretty big issue. But
at least you can spot.
Again, it was definitely much worse. This just in the middle of this match, some news has broken through. It appears that Yodesla was smurfing as Palafox, so both of these players are DQ'd.
Sick.
And are restricted from further Europa Halo tourneys, more likely than not.
Nice memes.
Spicy drama. Spicy.
So Trippppey's gonna lose another base, and I think with that he loses the game as well. He barely has anything left. Beam 3 going down on a stunned bunch of Wolverines, all of them melting down! Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. That was insane. Absolutely devastating.
That's illegal.
Yeah, honestly, dude. That shouldn't be allowed. Yeah, finally able to pull through in these engagements. Both players kind of going even for a pretty long while, but oh man. Hippy finally securing himself a pretty solid lead in this game now.
One thing I noticed, guys, I'm sorry about this, we're actually not capturing my mouse cursor. I'm gonna fix that for the next game. I've been trying to point out things with the cursor all game, and all my efforts were in vain. Please don't shoot me kicking in again. And again, Burke steals a Reaver in the process.
And yeah.
The double mine is ready, however, to cast, and that should happen momentarily. And this is a kind of scary choke point here in the main base next to the turrets. Burke's gotta be careful. He's got a lot of snipers around. Grunt Dome is gonna protect against a dumpster drop. There's just so many locusts, and they're all invulnerable because of the grunt goblins. There's also a bunch of reavers and methane trucks. So yeah, I'm gonna say NintendoHippy wins the game right here, right now. Even though the snipers are killing the heroes, it's not gonna be enough. What about all the vehicles? You can't even shoot them. What happened to the blisterbacks? Did they get? I think they died at some point.
I think they probably got cut out. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, not sure.
Yeah.
And that is Trippppey's last base. So NintendoHippy is going to take this 2-0 and proceed to the next round. Trippppey is not out. I mean, he's still got a chance in the loser's bracket.
He's still got a chance in the loser's bracket, absolutely. Absolutely, but
man's going to fight to the last unit.
He put up a pretty good fight. NintendoHippy is arguably one of the best players in the world currently, and Yap Yap also one of the best leaders, arguably as well. So definitely putting up a fight, and again, he's going to have another chance to come back in the losers brackets. Just the nice thing about these double elim tourneys is that it gives these players another chance here.
If he's just dropping the bomb on himself. And he wins.
And there it is. Game 2 going to NintendoHippy. In a That was a very long slugfest of a match.
Oh yeah, they played super cautiously, both of them actually, and that's what kind of caused this.
Yeah, and you can't really blame them either. Definitely, especially with the leaders that each other are choosing, a wipe is going to result in a lot of damage done, if not a base loss.
I guess the mid-game decision making of Berg, the mid-game decision making of Berg just wasn't quite there, I think, because you know you need to end the game against Yap at some point, right? The longer it goes, the worse.
Exactly. Playing against Yap, playing against RB, you know, you're putting on a timer, basically.
Yeah. Even Jerome, who's like amazing at late game, but compared to Yap, it's just not the same.
No, not.
So next up in the winners bracket, we got Stormy Style versus NintendoHippy here.